Hi Faye, how are you doing today?
I'm alright.
Okay. So, is there anything specific you would like to start off by talking to me about today?
Specific? Not necessarily. I mean, my boyfriend's getting on my nerves, but that's typical.
Okay, so you said your boyfriend's getting on your nerves. How is your boyfriend getting on your nerves?
He's just being really obnoxious. He's really he's always jealous of everything, and he starts acting like retarded. Right now, he's not speaking to me, so.
Okay, so I heard you use the word obnoxious and jealous. Can you explain to me how your boyfriend is being obnoxious and jealous?
Excuse me. Um, let's see. Well, the most recent argument we got into was he saw me talking to one of my classmates, and it's a guy, and we were like talking about, our upcoming tests and, what we were going to study for and how we felt about class or whatever. And, nothing major, just really small talk right after class. So my boyfriend, so he sees me talking to him, the guy like goes off and does whatever he was going to do. And, my boyfriend comes in and is like, who is that? And is like pressing me about like, well, what are you guys talking about? And I'm like, we're talking about class. And he's like, why did you, it was just like little stupid stuff. Like, and he was just like, well, who is he? Did he ask you for your phone number? And, have you talked to him before? And I'm like, he's in my class, he's my classmate. It's nothing serious. And, but ever since then, he's, not even since then, but like right after that, he has a little attitude, just really short with me, just, and just very kind of distant, just because of, since that incident. So that's obnoxious. And I mean, he's jealous, jealous of nothing, it's my classmate. That's it, feel like we were at the club, you saw me hollering at this dude, or you know what I'm saying? We're in school. It's not like that. So it just gets on my nerves.
Okay, so it sounds as if you seem a little frustrated that your boyfriend is asking you questions about people who you don't necessarily even like that.
Yeah, I mean, and this isn't the first time he's had a problem with not just in the guys, but just me spending time with people. For another class, my statistics class, I'm really struggling with it. So I had put together a study group.
Okay.
To meet twice a week to go over the stuff and study for tests and do review. And he would just be bitching about it, tripping, why you always with this group? Where you probably not even really there. And I'm like, dude, you walked me to the place. You know what I'm saying? And he makes a big deal out of little stuff that is really not significant. This is for school. This is not, I didn't say I was going on a date. I didn't say I was having a powwow or something. It's really, I'm going to study. I need to pass this class. It's really important because I'm really struggling with this one class. And the study group has actually really helped me a lot. And I just don't need to hear his mouth about me doing something for school.
Okay, so you said you were struggling with that class in particular. So is this a big class for you to take? Is this a really, really important class for you to take?
Well, I mean, all my classes right now, I'm a freshman, so, all my general ed classes are what I'm taking right now. Statistics is I have to pass this. This is the only math class that they're requiring me to take for my major. So, and it's hard, and I don't get it. I get it, but it's something that I feel I'm struggling with it. So that's why I put together the group or whatever, which was the recommendation of my teacher, to people who are struggling with it, they should get together and try to, work together and figure out how to understand the material. And, so I did that.
Okay, so that kind of seems really responsible of you to actually form a study group. But it seems as if you're still having problems with your boyfriend, which is stressing you. Is it stressing you?
Very much. I mean, it is stressful. Like, I try not to let it get to me, but
Okay.
like at the same time, you know, when we are having these problems or whatever, he'll give me the silent treatment. If like, like I'll be in the study group, for example, one time, like this is like maybe like a month ago, um, I was at the study group, we meet for like 2 hours. People work, got jobs, what I'm saying? People got stuff to do. So we meet for 2 hours, like after class, and, we go over the material and, figure out questions that we want to ask the teacher, for the next class. And so, he knew I was there. Called me like back to back to back to back. Like, dude, I can't focus and concentrate when you're like blowing up my phone. And it wasn't like he didn't know what was going on. And then afterwards, when the group was over and I called him back, he's like yelling, like, what the F is your problem? Why you not answering my phone calls? What were you doing? That's why you probably weren't even at that group. And this is the third. And then he gives me the silent treatment for like 3 days.
Okay. So how long has your boyfriend been having this behavior?
Okay, so we've been dating for like a year and some change. So I guess more or less he started tripping like after Christmas break, like spring semester. Like we really started dating more like we went to summer school. That's where we met. We met in summer school, which was in June. We became a couple more or less like right when school started in like August. Maybe like the second or third week of August we became a couple, which is fine. I really like him, and we're really cool. And well, we went through we had a lot of fun, and then he started tripping off stuff like around spring semester. He started just being extra out about a little stuff. Be one day he's cool, the next day he's not. We'll go a couple days of having cool, being really cool, and then he'll find something to get upset about and just act like a big child.
Okay. So it sounds like you all were okay until a certain point. Do you know of any incident that would kind of make him start acting more skeptical about your behavior?
I guess I would say I became more social.
Okay.
So I joined the African Students Residents Association, and then in the spring I became president. So on top of my classes and that statistics class, which I'm still in, it's my group, and then I have the meetings for the ARA, and we get to plan events and stuff like that. So that. So I guess I'm more social now. I live in the dorm, so I hang out, when I'm doing my work or whatever. But it just seems regular to me.
Okay. So you joined an organization that's kind of taking up your time. So do you perhaps think that your boyfriend is jealous, or perhaps mad that you're in an organization?
He's mad about anything that has to do with any male being in my space.
Okay.
In the world. It doesn't matter where I'm at, what I'm doing is always some guy lurking in the background who's waiting for me or something. It's just he's you always want to be seen and you want to be out, and I'm just I don't really know what to expect. I don't know what he wants to do, put me in a box somewhere and keep me in the corner where no one in the world can talk to me and see me I'm a person. You know what I'm saying? I go to school, there are guys in my class. What do you want me to do? You know what I'm saying? I have a job on campus in the library. I go to the library. I have to interact with students. You know what I'm saying? Because I check them into the computer lab. So I have to people talk to me, you know, they ask me questions. So it's like, it doesn't make sense for him to be insecure about things. Like, I don't feel like I gave him any reason to be that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I really don't think I've done anything. Like, I'm not messy like that, you know? Like, I don't have, like, all kind of my guy, I mean, I have guy friends, you know,
Mm-hmm.
from back home or whatever, but, like, none of them are, like, ever, to me, I don't think they do anything disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't be calling me late at night, you know what I'm saying? They don't do stuff like that. So, I don't know, I think he just gets real turned up over just the thought of somebody talking to me.
Okay. So let's go back for a second. So you said that he called you numerous times, and you know, he keeps asking you questions as to where you are and accusing you of things that you are not participating in. Would you consider that controlling?
To some extent, yeah.
To some extent. Can you kind of explain what you mean by some extent?
I mean, I'm sure if he could have it his way,
Mm-hmm.
I would just be up underneath him all the time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he wants to control, and because I'm not allowing him to control,
Mm-hmm.
we're like butting heads because I just get frustrated, and, you know, sometimes I give in, and, you know, for example, like, so the study group was twice a week, so I only go once a week because he kept on nagging me about it. So, you know, I stopped going to one of the groups.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, trying to compromise with him, like, okay, I'll just go once a week. Is that okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta ask his permission or something, like I'm some kid. But, like, I'd rather work with him to try to figure out some compromise that we can come to rather than him acting like a big baby all the time.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of fed up.
So you say you cut down one of your study groups sessions. So how has that reflected your grade or your study?
It's actually like it has affected me because, you know, the groups were really helpful for me.
Okay.
You know, like practicing with them, doing some of the problems, coming up with questions and stuff like that. So I think if I was still in that group, I would be doing much better. Like, I'm passing with like a C- in the class, which is barely passing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not cool for me, is to get a C-. Like, that's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do C- and I don't do C's. So, yeah, it's affected me. So I try to study, you know, so like in lieu of not going to the group, I try to study at his house since that's what he wants, is for me to be around him. And then, like, when I'm there trying to study, he's trying to distract me, you know, like he'll watch TV or he'll be playing video games or he'll like be really loud or he'll want to start having a conversation with me, like knowing that I'm studying, you know, like I just feel like it is controlling. But I don't feel like he's controlling me because I feel like I'm still doing stuff that I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really feel like I'm being controlled.
Okay.
But I think he might be trying to.
Okay. So you think he's trying to control you instead of actually controlling you?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said that you don't attend all of the sessions like you used to. You've basically cut down to one. So do you think he's kind of controlling your schoolwork or your studying time?
He's distracting me from it. I don't know if I would use controlling as a word.
So distracting.
Yeah, he's very distracting from like my schoolwork because, like I said, he'll blow up my phone or he'll just be doing something where he knows I can't concentrate like that.
So are you thinking about actually going back to the study group?
Yeah.
Possibly. Okay. If you do go back to the study group, do you think that this will start more arguments with you and him, or?
Probably, but I'd rather pass than worry about his little petty discussion that he wants to have. Like, I did it because I was doing okay. Like, my grade had improved to like a B-. So I was like, okay, well maybe I don't need to be in the group as much. And then maybe like 2 weeks go by in the semester and I'm seeing like I'm feeling overwhelmed because I'm not understanding it as well. And then I didn't do good on the last quiz and I got a C minus, and I really can't afford that because then that brings me back down to a C. So, and that was last week. Mm-hmm. So now, I went to the study group yesterday, and the next one is tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm gonna go to the group tomorrow.
Okay. So, can I ask you this? So, have you gotten into some type of altercation with your boyfriend before? Or do you feel as if you're in harm's way if you do go back?
I mean, I've seen him. He has a temper.
Okay, what do you mean he has a temper?
Like, when he's in his little mood or whatever, like, he looks really evil. Like, he gets this sinister look in his face, and his eyes almost look black, like he's turning into the devil himself. And, I've seen him, like, he got mad one time, and he, like, threw down this vase that he had at his house and broke it, and that kind of startled me. Mm-hmm. He's raised his voice, but he's never hit me before, so we've never gotten into a physical altercation or anything. But we've gone back and forth verbally, but I really am not I'm not combative like that. Like, I don't like arguing. I just want to, if we having a discussion, I just want to talk. Like, let's talk about it. You don't have to yell. You don't have to do all that. You could just talk to me and tell me what your problem is, and we can work it out. You don't have to get crazy. It's just not necessary.
So, are you perhaps worried that he will?
I know he's gonna have attitude.
Okay.
I know he's probably gonna have a little stink, but I don't care.
Okay. Would you consider your relationship healthy right now?
No.
So you wouldn't consider it healthy at all?
I mean, just thinking about, like, while I'm telling you all this stuff, it doesn't sound healthy whatsoever, you know what I'm saying? Like...
So you're kind of reflecting, once you're telling me, you're kind of thinking to
yourself.
Okay.
As I'm recalling all of these incidences of his temper tantrums or whatever, it does sound it does sound unhealthy and stupid, if you ask me.
Okay.
I love him, though.
Okay, so it seems as if you're kind of in the middle of a tiff. You don't know whether or not you should focus on your boyfriend more than your schoolwork, and you really, really, really need to stay up on your schoolwork. You first came to me about your schoolwork and the stresses of college, and now since we've been seeing each other for a couple of weeks, now you're mentioning that your boyfriend has now become like the main stressor. And you're having problems kind of balancing out spending time with him and allowing him to be around you and accepting that, and then your schoolwork. But you are planning on going back to your study group this coming up, and you're still kind of worried about your boyfriend's reaction?
Worried, but not that worried.
Okay, so you're worried, but you're not really that worried.
No.
Okay. So, maybe for the next session, we can probably try to look forward, or maybe you can update me on exactly how this week goes. And, you can maybe write down a journal, what do you think a healthy relationship is? Because you already say it doesn't sound healthy, but you're still kind of indecisive of whether or not the relationship is healthy or not. So maybe you can try to think of some healthy relationships that you do have. Whether it's with a family member or a friend or with an ex-boyfriend or, relationships all in general. And then we'll talk about it maybe next week and see how you're thinking about, how to move forward with you and your boyfriend's relationship and it kind of stressing you out as far as your work goes.
I can do that.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and try to keep a journal and...
Yeah, I have a journal, so yeah, I could write about that would be cool.
Okay, so next week, what day is good for you for the next appointment?
Wednesday. At noon.
Okay, I have Wednesday open for noon, so Wednesday and noon.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.